You guys, the weekly show has finally arrived. Okay, wasn't that everything? You're into it?
I love that.
You guys, hello. Welcome to the first ever episode of Completely Weekly. We got a title, we got a set. We're super fancy. You guys into it? You like the vibe?
Outside?
We have to make a hashtag now, though.
Probably just hashtag Completely Weekly. Or if you guys like something better, let us know. We'll figure it out as the show progresses. We have a lot of good stuff for you today, but Drew, first we got to talk about Trump. He's our new president, girl.
Inauguration. Saw you guys yesterday. America had its series finale. I mean, we have a new president. So, you know, it's been a long time coming. It's finally here. How are we feeling?
I'm excited.
The day would never come. I still feel like I haven't prepped myself. It's not reality just yet.
Right. I feel like, though, it's happening. There has to be hope. I mean, if Hillary Clinton can be there,
Right.
then maybe
Obama can shake Trump's hand.
then
you know.
maybe all of us can be there too.
I think we just need to all do it together. We need to unite and just be positive.
Be together.
Gotta
My
be
biggest
together.
thing is just letting go of Obama. I was going through
I
it the
know.
other day. I was just like, Dad, I was watching all the Joe and Obama memes. And I was like,
And then you see him playing in the snow with his girls.
you know, and the
And you're
dogs.
like,
The dogs.
We'll be fine, maybe.
It's going to be fine because they're going on a vacation. He said, I'm going to take Michelle out.
Yeah.
What about the kids? Where are the kids gonna go?
Kids are going to live their lives. They're not going to be under, I'm sure
Yeah.
they're going to still be under surveillance, but, you know, they'll be able to breathe a little.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. We're going to move together.
I don't even think Trump will live in the White House, though,
Yeah, I heard that he might
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is very
he's because Trump
interesting.
Towers, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's because his kid is still in school, so they don't want to, like, uproot them and go to D.C.
Also, I don't know if I'd feel safe there. You know, where everyone knows where you're at.
Where to find you. Okay, but you guys, leading up to this, there was a lot of talk about who would perform, who didn't want to perform, because there was a lot of people who did not want to perform. But Trump was able to wrangle in a few stragglers.
By stragglers, you mean like
that what we call
no-namers?
It was rough, you guys. So the day before the inauguration, he had his Make America Great Again welcome ceremony.
Of course.
And he had Toby Keith, Lee Greenwood, Three Doors Down,
Oh.
and the Piano Guys.
I've heard of two of them.
A-listers, hello!
The biggest stars, basically.
You know, but
Okay.
what's crazy is that he was able to get those people, but not even all of them were Trump supporters. They didn't even want to be there because the Piano Guys released a statement.
Who, I don't even know who they are.
What did they
Wait, who are the
say?
piano guys?
What do you mean you don't know who the Piano Guys are? They're huge.
I guess.
Now, if they're at the inauguration,
What
they're
a-
a big
They
deal.
performed at my sweet
One of our producers just informed us that they're a YouTube band, but
Oh.
they do have albums like The Piano Guys' Greatest Hits, or like Greatest Hits Volume 1.
You know when you go to the mall, like open center malls, and they have like those musicians in the middle, and then they sell their CDs? Are they there?
I have no
I'm
idea
totally
of
the
them.
person that buys those CDs.
So that was who left the Westfield.
But they
Okay,
released a
yeah,
statement that they're not even Trump supporters.
So you guys, they released a statement saying, because
which
they
is
got...
which is fine if they're not Trump supporters,
Right,
right?
right,
Because
but-
they're just there to
But
do a
what's
job.
funny is that, like, nobody wanted to perform, and he got them to perform, and they don't even want to be there.
Okay.
They released a statement saying they weren't endorsing Trump, but instead wished to spread love, joy, and hoped understanding and goodwill would prevail over political divisiveness.
Which honestly kills me if you can't find somebody to perform for your inauguration that actually supports you. That's sad.
It was
That has
rough.
to kill his ego. Like, can you imagine?
No, he was
Because-
still like,
Well, I was
"Oh,
very
happy
love
about
me."
it.
But listen, this is like your big day. It's the first day you're going to be in office, and like nobody. I mean, there was a
Here's
lot
the
of
thing.
people there, but nobody wants to
Here's
be there.
the thing, the coasts are very anti-Trump, but obviously the inside of America is very pro-Trump because people did vote him into office. So I think he's like, I still got a lot of people on my side. It's the people that make a lot of noise because they're a celebrity are not
I
necessarily
think
on his
he had a
team.
turnaround of like 800,000 or 900,000, as opposed to Obama, who almost reached, I think, the 2 million that showed up.
Yeah, and also at his concert the day before the inauguration, he had like 10,000, and Obama had 400,000. Okay.
Can we talk about the performers that
So.
Obama had too?
Oh,
Everybody. Can we talk about it? He had Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson, Mary J. Blige, Josh Groban,
list
Sheryl
goes
Crow,
on.
will.i.am, John Legend, Stevie Wonder, Usher, Shakira, U2, Bruce Springsteen. Okay. You know who Trump had? Jackie Ivanko from America's
Wait,
Got
America's
Talent.
Got Talent, the little girl?
Oh, yeah. The one who came in second place.
and the piano guys.
The Mormon Tabernacle Choir. and the Radio City Rockettes, who I love. I love the Radio City Rockettes.
What cracks me
Right.
up though is the people that said no, like Elton John, Celine Dion, John Legend,
George
girl.
Lopez. I mean, come on. Why would he say yes? But out of all people, George Lopez.
Right.
What about this Kanye stuff? Did you see that?
So speaking of Kanye and John Legend, because John Legend was disappointed in Kanye for even meeting with Trump.
Yeah.
And so he Kanye came out and said that I would have voted for Trump, all this, they met together. But so Trump's team released a statement saying yeah, they're friends and all, but we didn't invite Kanye to perform because he's not traditionally American.
What does that mean? I would love to know.
Well, maybe
by
because his music is a
definition,
little
what
out there,
what does that
or
look
Right.
like?
So I'm not defending their statement at all, but I think they just worded it poorly. I think what they meant to say was because Kanye's music's not exactly all family friendly.
Right.
And the inauguration's typically, very traditional and,
But still, I feel like if there is an A-list celebrity that you could get to perform, you should probably get that person to perform. Be like,
Especially,
tame it down. Just play some of your more friendly songs.
especially when it's someone so controversial like Kanye. And I feel like at the end of the day, Donald Trump loves to be in those headlines for his controversy.
he's a
I
Twitter troll.
probably would have stopped him during his speech or something.
like,
You know what I mean?
hold on.
2020, I would be the president.
He's like, you're great, but me.
Obama
That
was
wouldn't be
so in tune with the hip hop community, and then here Donald Trump. Yes, he's sort of friends with them, but I
Yeah.
can't.
He's friends with Kanye. He's not friends with
Guys,
him.
all right, you guys, let's move on. Vivian.
Okay, let's move on to a little, I guess it's still a serious topic, but A Dog's Purpose. The movie is under fire. You guys all saw the TMZ video that was leaked of this German Shepherd Hercules being put in this extremely dangerous situation, and everyone is just outraged over the video and over the situation. And, everyone has sort of come out and spoken about it. First off, I did watch the movie, and it did honestly sadden me. I cried, you guys, because I'm the biggest.
You were saying this scene was
dog lover, because that was one of the scenes where I just lost it. I was crying.
Yeah.
And the movie A Dog's Purpose is really to show the dogs, animals' purpose in our lives.
Yeah.
They bring happiness, they bring this, they bring comfort. So the fact that this is overshadowed by the situation, it just really makes me sad, because I was looking forward to all of you guys that love dogs to go out and watch the film.
And now this kind of ruins it for all of us.
It does ruin
Premiere was
it.
canceled.
But okay, so let's talk about what is happening. PETA has come out and spoken and said, you know what, we have to boycott the movie. So many hashtags trending. Boycott A Dog's Purpose.
Let's show them why. I think we have a clip. Let's toss
We do.
to the clip
Okay.
of the dog that TMZ got.
Gets me when he finally gets him actually in the
drowns
water.
for a few minutes.
No,
a few seconds.
once he gets him in the water, the dog.
Well,
look
yeah,
at him,
because it's
clinging
flooded
on.
water.
That
It's
is
flooding
strength
water.
that the dog did that. Look,
He does not want to go
not
in.
at all. And then you see the dog right here.
So the studio did release a statement where they were
in the
saying
corner.
that once the dog didn't want to do this, they picked up at a different time. However, the edit does not look like that, so we don't know what is necessarily true and what's not true.
Exactly.
When you think about it, there is one side of the story that you could say oh, have you ever tried to give your dog a bath? And it is they don't want to go in. I'm not saying I support this or condone this, but I'm saying that is
That's
an
a good point.
argument, and I feel like if they're filming a movie, I feel like this is probably typical behavior for them to get a film shot, because they're under a tight shooting schedule. Am I saying this is okay? Absolutely not, because that dog clearly did not want to go in that water.
No, go ahead.
Here's the thing. We have CGI. I'm not a filmmaker, so I'm not too familiar with all the techniques that you can actually use. But to my knowledge, I'm actually real close friends with a dog trainer, and he has a German Shepherd. And his German Shepherd, it's just one of the things that he trains him to do. He throws the ball into the pool, and the dog jumps, so he basically measures how far he can jump.
Yeah.
And it's just for fun. It's not, he's not a stunt dog or anything. So what he was saying was there was another way to film this. They could have just thrown a ball, and then CGI'd all the turbulent water everywhere.
And then he could have popped up at the end.
And then he could have popped up. So there were ways
better
to do this. But at the end of the day, they were forcing the dog to be in an uncomfortable situation, which is very traumatizing for animals. And I think overall, people are just outraged. I don't know if it's the best thing to boycott the movie or not. I don't know if that's the best approach. It is a great way to bring attention, to make everyone aware that, these kinds of movies need to they need to stop.
I personally haven't seen the movie.
It's not even
and
out yet.
Okay. And even watching this clip, I wanted to watch the movie. The dogs were actually here,
They were
right?
here.
In the studio.
Yeah.
So I was
cute.
really encouraged. I was like, oh, fun. But after watching that clip, I personally don't want to watch
And
it.
that's the problem. Like,
And
I think
that's
they're cutting promotion for the film. They're cutting like press days for the film.
Yeah.
You can't really go forward in this, but they did release statements.
But going back to what you were saying, again, I'm not trying to support what they did at all, but when you try to give your dog a bath, it does act like that. It's like, no. Like, when I try to take my dog to the groomer, it's like...
This is a different situation because it's not like, oh, I'm giving my dog a bath. It's like, I'm forcing you into this
and
situation.
there's like screaming people. There's tons of cameras. Now, the director did speak. He already sent a couple of tweets, and he said, I'm very disturbed by the video released today from the set of my film, A Dog's Purpose. And he goes on to say, I have been promised that a thorough investigation into the situation is underway and that any wrongdoing will be reported and punished. What we see also on your screen is a statement by one of the actors, and he's just basically saying that he loves animals and that he was really sad that, you know, obviously it's being overshadowed by this situation. Now, there will be an investigation. To my understanding, they could be fined up to $10,000.
Wow. But I guess for the production, that's not a huge amount in the grand scheme of things. That's probably like a promotion day for them. However, Josh Gad, who also is a big voice in the film, after he saw that clip, he tweeted out and he was like, oh my gosh, I was not a part of the filming process on set for this movie. I was in a dark booth recording a voiceover, and I thought that this was shedding light on animals and their owners, and it was just...
That's right, and he clarifies that he says, while I do not know all of the details and cannot speak to the level of care and caution that went into this moment, as I was never on set for making this film. Obviously, he's the voice, so he was in a sound booth. He was nowhere near the set.
But it's crazy, even the actors are speaking out against their own movie.
Of course, because you guys, they had nothing to do with those scenes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, okay, so the director did say, you know what, this is my third dog movie, so I'm very familiar with how things work, and I would never allow anything like this to happen on set. So he is asking for an investigation, and I don't know what will come of this.
The receipts are in our face. Like, we literally have the video. It might have been chopped together in a way that made us believe it was worse than it actually is, but we can discuss that later. We have to talk about something a little bit more happy.
Yeah.
Jackie,
Happy
bring me up.
Happy
Bring us some joy.
news! You know, because our girls, Fifth Harmony, performed for the very first time without Camila Cabello at the People's Choice Awards, and people, they absolutely slayed it, and I wouldn't expect anything more from them. They killed it.
Yeah.
So people were concerned when they first put out, they sang their song Work From Home, and the first verse is actually Camila's verse.
Which is drama.
Which is like, oh my gosh,
like,
what are they going to do it? Are they going to sing it? Like, what's going to happen?
I think we have some B-roll of the performance. Let's play that while we're talking about that.
Okay, yeah, so everybody's wondering, and by the way, before they even performed on the red carpet, they looked so hot. They looked like a group, and I just love the outfits that they chose to wear. Look at them. Yes, slay, ladies. They're wearing leather. They look sexy.
That production value was everything.
I like the fact that they all sang Camila's lyric together and on
In
screen.
harmony.
In harmony.
In harmony.
And on screen, we see their names, kind of like reminding us, hey, it's the four girls. These are their names. Let's get to know them, and let's embrace the new Fifth Harmony.
It was shouting out their individuality, so I did like that. My problem, though, was I felt like the production value was so high, but the performance was a little lackluster.
No, it wasn't. It was great.
Okay,
and
I
mean, it
my
wasn't
favorite
Beyonce,
part,
but
though,
it was-
But it was, I mean, it was there.
I mean, I'm a fan. Like, I like all of them. I'm a big fan of all of them.
Right,
but-
I think they actually shocked everyone. Here at Clevver, we almost gave them a standing ovation. I think when people were watching there at the award show, like, they were just like really excited for them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they've gone through so much. Like, it must be just hard, kind of, okay, we gotta face the world now.
What was funny to me was when they won an award after their performance, was Lauren was like, I'm shouting out to our amazing management team, our great management team, and that's after her audio is the one that got leaked, and she was like talking, oh my gosh, they own us, they own our souls, I hate them.
Yeah.
But listen, I thought it was a very classy speech. They could have used the opportunity to like throw shade, let's be real, after everything that they did, but it was full of gratitude.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of Destiny's Child a little bit, because they switched up the lyrics where Camila's like, I ain't worried about nothing, I ain't worried about nada, and they changed, we ain't worried about nothing, we ain't worried about nada.
Unity.
And it reminded me of Destiny's Child when they leaked the, put out the song Survivor, like they're like, we're good, we're fine. And I really feel like they're closer than ever.
Well, I must say, I love Camila, I really do, but I thought it looked better as a foursome than it did as 5 girls.
It really did.
I think groups just always look better with less people.
I mean, maybe that was the issue since the beginning, and we just...
It's just an odd number makes things complicated,
there's no
you know?
issue. Yes, yes, Fifth Harmony isn't selling out their tour dates, but we all love their music. 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. And I think this is a great move for Camila. I feel like she's actually going to do very well as a solo artist. You could argue that, but I feel like she knows the right people. She's going to collab with the right people. I mean, every collaboration, and Shawn Mendes, I feel like she's going to kill it. So.
I appraise her courage because I bet she watched this performance, and I'm sure she was at home like, damn.
Can you imagine how much balls it takes, though, to say, I'm going to leave something that's working. Yeah, how much boobs it takes. Say, I'm going to leave something that's really working, and I'm going to stand out on my own. She's taking such a big risk, and I feel like
following her heart.
Yeah, we haven't focused on like how empowering that is. We're always just like, oh, the shade between the 5 of them.
I'm glad, like the fans are just supporting both sides.
Yeah,
that's what I'm glad. Even though there were a couple of memes out there, I think there was one where all the girls are standing on the carpet, then there's like a shadow. It must have been like the manager or something shadow, and they say, "Oh, Camila's here in spirit." And I'm like, guys, come on. I'm sure she was there.
Watching.
I know.
All right, you guys.
She got an invitation.
I have something fun for us. Drew and I thought we had some good stories the other night. We were at home. We're like, when we get home, we like tell each other stories, and we're like always like talking. And I was like, I always call when girls tell like their stories to multiple people, I like call it their press tour. So then I was like, we should do a press tour on the show. So Drew and I both made headlines for ourselves, and we want the 2 of you to vote which one you want to hear. So
this is exciting.
Clickbait headlines. And so first, Drew, why don't you present your clickbait headline to the group?
Okay. Guys ready?
All right. Let's bring up Drew's photo, please.
So you pull up my YouTube channel, right, and you see Peter, Michael Jackson's house.
What? There it is.
Oh my gosh, that is everything.
Okay.
Yes, get your life, Drew.
I just hope it was in the toilet.
You get no details.
No details.
You get no details.
Wait, okay.
Nope. Now,
Wait, that's also not the White House.
we're gonna now bring up my clickbait headline. Let's bring up the photo, please.
So you see Ryan's YouTube channel, and
These are, you see?
I almost died vlogging.
that's amazing.
Okay, I could totally see you almost dying vlogging.
Can we talk about that Mariah Carey lighting? Yes, right.
Yes, it's this new beauty blogger camera that I got. Girl, what's up, my
Wait, they're
has
both so
the
good.
Bieber confused look.
Yeah.
I'm interested in both, but who are we gonna go
It's
with?
the decision between
It's
the two
up to
of
you
you.
guys.
Okay, well, no offense, Ryland. I mean,
I think I'm gonna go with Drew's.
All right,
but
let's
yours
give it to
looks
Drew.
good.
Spill the tea.
Oh
Drew,
my gosh.
give us
Okay.
all the details.
As you know,
First
with
off,
clickbait,
what?
There's always, not everything is to the story as you think. You know,
Okay.
it's not always as it seems. So I was invited to the Jacksons' Halloween party this year, and which is so crazy. I was like, what?
You're obsessed.
I'm obsessed with Michael Jackson, and his nephew reached out to me on Twitter. He DM'd me on Twitter. Didn't even know he followed me.
Wait, just randomly, like personally to you?
Well, I'm sure she's tweeted him enough about.
But I haven't. I really haven't. I don't like vocalize my obsession with Michael. I really don't.
If you guys see your cubicle, you'll
understand.
You'll understand.
So he reached out to me and he was like, "We'd like to invite you to our Halloween party to sponsor the Dee Jackson Foundation," which is like shout out. Dee Jackson Foundation is awesome. It was it was
amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. So Taj was Tito's son, if you know the Jackson 5. Their mom died a while ago, so they have this foundation, and so they were having this benefit concert. It was actually the Jackson family compound, which is the house that Michael Jackson lived in until he was like 30 years old with the rest of the Jackson family. Not Neverland, but the other one that you see on TV and like with the reality show and whatever. And so I got this message and I was like, are you kidding me? I thought I was being catfished. Like, honestly, I was like, me, are you sure you're the right person? And he was like, yeah, like, we love Clevver and like, we'd love for you to come. And I was like, what? What?
And you didn't invite me.
Sorry, girl.
Thanks a lot, Drew. Thanks a lot.
So we went and it was so crazy. I like felt like I was in like a dream world.
Wow.
Literally, like, they had it so decked out, like the greatest decorations you'd ever see in your life at a Halloween party. You walk in, and what's crazy is they had like a little mini red carpet, and like I wasn't sure where the line was to take a picture, so I tapped the guy in front of me. I was like, "Oh, is this where you take pictures?" Bobby Brown turns around, and he's like, "Yep, I'm in line." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
You're like, how about you get a quick pic with me?
Right? It was so crazy. And then like, imagine this. So I'm dancing on the dance floor, like with his like family around, also dancing. Right above the dance floor is his studio where he recorded Thriller, the album, and we're like dancing Thriller. Like I was like literally shaking. So the peed part, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Did it happen in the
good
toilet
stuff.
though?
Right, and of course,
thank goodness.
clickbait, hello. So I was like, I'm in Michael Jackson's house, I gotta use the bathroom because his butt touched the same toilet that my butt's gonna touch. So I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh my God.
I'm sure it was Cloroxed a few times already,
It was
hopefully.
beautiful. It was like,
God.
if you just imagine like Michael Jackson's bathroom, that's what it looked like.
Well, in my
Right.
mind, I envisioned that you were like marking your territory in Michael Jackson's house, so you like popped a spot like, I will live here forever.
You're like being my dog.
That's what I
was so
envisioned.
respectful.
Was it one of those fancy toilets that washes your butt?
A bidet.
A bidet.
A bidet. I actually bought one of those because I was because can you imagine not having to wipe? No, it's a shade's house. But like, can you imagine not having to wipe? I haven't installed it yet because I'm not handy enough.
I mean,
But you have to wipe after.
no, there's a dryer too. It does everything. You
I've
can
been
like
missing
set
out
your
in life.
preferences. No, I'm serious.
Oh my
because
God.
you don't ever have to use toilet paper. It just like
Okay, but
cleans
that's
for you.
weird.
No, you feel like it's weird, but I was
Oh my
reading all
God.
these people's reviews and they're like, it seems weird, but then once you have it, you'll want every toilet in your house.
Heck yeah.
And it's like so
so
like
I would
you
be
have to do
saving
anything.
money on all of these
And like
baby
messy
wipes that I buy.
You know, messy wipes are the worst, and you don't have to
Yeah.
deal with that.
What a
That actually
waterfall
sounds
shooting up
pretty
your butt.
wonderful.
That sounds like, whew.
Girl, no, you can adjust the temperature. It's like,
Warm
And it-
air
come over and
after you
try
use
out,
the
girl.
restroom sounds kind of like soothing. and
Yeah.
comfortable.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
there's a remote. You can like.
I have been missing out on life.
So, okay, so
Clearly.
you didn't use that
I
function
didn't
at
use
all.
that, but the toilet paper was very comfortable.
Wow.
It was so cool, and they
Lucky.
were so nice, like the nicest, kindest family. Just, It was dope. It
Wow.
was so dope. Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Yeah,
died.
no.
Well, we're gonna.
Was your story like even as good as that? I'm glad we picked that one.
it's-
Sorry.
Ryland's like, I almost fell off a cliff, or like,
No, I'm not even giving you the details. Maybe I'll save it for our next clickbait story time. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to end this show on something a little bit new too. We're gonna do Good Week, Bad Week, where we talk about a celebrity that's killing it and a celebrity that wants to probably dig
Die.
a ditch and hide in it.
Oh no.
So I took the honors of choosing the celebrities this week, and
Okay.
for Good Week, I'm gonna give it to The Weeknd because
Oh, yeah.
Homeboy is living.
Living his
He's
life.
living. He literally has the choice right now between Selena Gomez and Bella Hadid.
well, does he? Because I think Bella's very upset.
Well, he
No.
did.
She's
Like,
still in love
I'm
with
telling
him.
you,
She is
still in love with
he could have gone back to Bella,
Right.
but he chose Selena. He has like two very powerful girls gunning for his heart.
Or did he, guys?
Listen up. He's making new music, probably with Selena. He's living his life at parties. His songs are on the radio. I'm just saying, like, for him to get the publicity that he's gotten after coming out with this Selena Gomez
Guys,
kiss
okay.
is out of control.
He is breaking up friendships. He was partying with Kylie Jenner, and I'm like, wait, isn't Kylie like BFFs with Bella? I would be so upset.
Listen,
I'd be like,
all of these people hang. It's a small, tight group. They all end up at the same places. And I've been talking about this all week. The love triangle: Selena, Bella, Gigi, Taylor. Ooh, what's happening?
Taylor.
Like, I mean, it's
forgot
not
about
just
Taylor.
Taylor, Gigi. They're all.
No, but here's my
together.
thing. If Taylor starts choosing sides, she has this connection with Gigi, and Gigi's with Zayn, and
Oh,
her
yeah.
sister's
That's
Bella,
what I'm saying.
like all this
Everybody
stuff.
Like the
is
Kardashian
like,
relationship
but
all
she's
over
also
again.
friends with Selena, so I'm saying, like, if this blows up, it could literally be the next Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, like, feud.
OMG.
Another bad blood.
breakout.
Bad blood too.
well, let's just hope when Selena's collaboration with The Weeknd
It
comes
could,
out, that
because
it's
remember-
epic. She
but
did the same thing with
with
Zed.
Zed,
Remember,
but-
she was like holding hands with them, and at the end of the day, they weren't dating. It
This
was
feels a little more real to me.
Kiss her mouth.
My issue is, like, I don't know how The Weeknd is getting all of these girls. Like, he's a cute guy, but
that
like,
You heard
voice.
his music?
His voice.
And what he talking
It
about?
is the smile,
That's
you
exactly how he's
guys.
getting the girls.
Okay, now
Yeah.
that I
I like
wasn't a fan of his hair, now that he cut it, I'm like, he's cute.
He's
He does look
adorable.
cute. Yeah,
Very
he's always been
cute.
cute.
I personally liked his first album the best,
Right,
though. Like,
yeah.
everyone's raving about him now, but I loved his first stuff. Anyways, I'm giving my bad week to Bella Hadid because
Yeah.
not only did it come out that her recent breakup is now dating somebody way more famous than her, she also publicly unfollowed Selena Gomez on
Yeah.
Instagram, was followed around New York City saying to the paparazzi that she's fine, and then followed that up with flipping them off, and then was spotted at the same party as The Weeknd over the weekend while Selena Gomez was back in LA. So we don't know if this relationship between Selena and The Weeknd is actually real or if it's not, but either way, Bella Hadid is feeling some type of way
Leave
about
the
it.
girl alone
Hey, at least she's
right
hot.
now.
At least
know,
she's
right?
hot,
You know?
but she's also like the lesser famous Hadid sister, which also
getting
probably
there.
But
sucks.
because
getting
it's
there.
different. She's just a model, and Selena Gomez is an everything. I mean, she's a superstar, so we
Right.
can't really
Yeah, but
compare
can you
them.
imagine?
It's
Listen,
unfair to compare them.
can
Bella
you?
Hadid's taller.
Hey,
Yeah.
can you imagine like having your boyfriend break up with you and then finding
broke up
out?
with him.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Then finding out that that
whatever
boyfriend,
reason.
like you
Is
dumped some
dating
guy because you kick him to the curb,
Yeah.
and then he finds like somebody that's like killing life.
I would
like
be sad.
actually,
And worse,
and you can't escape her. Like you turn on any TV,
You
the
see her
internet, your
I would
phone,
eat Parmesan fries.
from the
Make me
counter.
feel better from the counter.
Shout out to the counter girl.
I do whenever I'm sad.
I don't know. I hate that it's like that, but it is so true. Like, you can't, I mean, Selena is like this big person, but why can't it be like, you know, I have a great personality. I'm better in certain different areas versus like she's a celebrity and I'm
Girl,
not.
bye.
Welcome to 2017.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
But I mean, you know, it's
I know.
All right.
I don't know what to make of this. I'm just sad that it's gonna break up that whole little squad that they had going
Are
on.
you? This is gonna provide us with content for months.
For months.
I like
Yeah.
secretly kind of like it, but I like because they're doing
don't
that.
know.
They like
don't.
go out. They seek this. They want this. Like Selena
Yeah.
did not have to kiss the Weeknd in public, so
Right,
she
right.
chose to do
You
that.
know
She knew
cameras
there were
are watching
paparazzis.
you.
So if she was doing that consciously, knowing that the world is watching her every move, then I'm happily
Do you
going to
think
talk
they
about
ever
it.
forget like that they are so famous and
I-
they just act
No.
normal?
There's probably a point where
Come
they.
on.
Well, hello.
You
I
walk
mean,
out
I'm
somewhere
sure
and
you
you
go on a
kiss-
date and you go around flirting and smooching.
But if I was Selena Gomez, I would know that there were cameras probably
I
hiding
know, but
somewhere.
think about it. You're like just trying to be normal. And you're like, just hanging up on the person. You forget, maybe.
It is hard. Like
paparazzi.
at some point, you would want to stop caring because literally
that's
these
what I'm
people cannot
saying.
walk out of the house and live a normal life. So at some point, it's like I'm just going to say I don't care what the world thinks about me. But in this case specifically, I feel like that's just not the right thing for Selena Gomez to do, seeing as though she just got out of rehab to like try to get mentally on the right track. So I feel like the whole world talking about her probably isn't mentally stabilizing.
Do you think it's bad PR for her that?
No, I think every PR is good
No.
PR.
Yeah, you
And it
think
wasn't
so?
her fault. She even said that her and Bella they're not close.
Right.
It's like Gigi is in her squad with Taylor. And
Yeah,
all
but there's
that,
too many
like
close
mutual
connections.
friends.
That like breaks up connections because that makes people have to
Yeah.
choose sides.
I have a question. We just talked about this. Like, what is girl code in those scenarios, right?
Oh,
because
I'm
they're
all
not
about
friends.
girl
This
code.
isn't though. This is not breaking girl code because
That's what
they're
I'm
not
asking.
directly
I don't think it's
friends.
breaking
It's
girl
not.
code.
It's
Yeah.
awkward because they've been in the same
I don't
room
think
one
so
too many
either.
times. Like
Yeah.
they've been photographed like as close as me and Viv one too many times. So
Yeah.
like they do know each other, but it's not like they were as close as Viv and I, where
okay.
like we're in the same room every day, and then I went and like slept with your
Then I'd
person.
be so upset. And
Well,
I'm like, you
alleged-
broke girl code.
Yeah. Allegedly, though, Gigi and Bella were very vocal with helping Selena through her like personal struggles and hard times. So if that's
Like
true,
a slap in the face, sorta.
that's kind of iffy.
All right, we're done. We're done, you guys.
Oh my God.
That wraps up our first ever episode of Completely Weekly. Drew, do you have like a question that you want these people to talk about?
All the questions. I want to know what you guys think about this weekend Selena Gomez drama. Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's breaking girl code? I don't know. Let me know.
I don't know. Too many questions, so little time. You guys, tweet us on Twitter. You can follow us all on social medias. You can
Right.
find us. We're around. We'll be here. Hit up Clevver's Instagram. You can find all the good stuff there. And we'll see you next Saturday. Same place. We'll be here. Goodbye.
Bye.
Click left for Selena's secret reunion with The Weeknd over on DHR, or click to the right to find out who in the Kardashians has a gay storyline on the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.